for which he was selected through a global recognition selection process. And of course, a Vice Chancellor of Uttar Pradesh Rajshri Tandon Open University, Allahabad. He has also been head Department of Chemistry, Director of CPDHE, Director Higher Education, and Director of Institute of Lifelong Learning ILLL of DU. He has also been a visiting professor at GGS-IP University in New Delhi. Not taking too much of time, Professor Bakshi is presently a mentor of UGC-MMTTC at SGTB Khalsa College under University of Delhi. He has been the chairperson of GAD TLC and member of Standing Committee of NMEICT of Government of India, and he has also the chairperson of Consent Advisory Committee for Chemistry for Shakshat portal of MHRD under Government of India. A double gold medalist, sir, proud of you. A double gold medalist, record breaker, and receptionist of several awards and academic honors. Professor Bakshi was facilitated two times for his outstanding contribution to education by former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Not taking too much of time, Sir has authored 11 books as and 51 e-books for his repute. So, sir, I'm not taking too much of time because we have time constraint. So, thank you very much for to be a source person in our refresher course. Sir, I am the chairperson. I am honored to serve you as a moderator in this session. So, hand over to you for this session, and we all will be delighted to listen for this whole session and a knowledge seeker from your side, sir. Sir, thank you very much. Please proceed, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Manish, for your very kind words of introduction. And good afternoon, all the participants. It's indeed a great pleasure and a privilege to be a part of this NEP Orientation and Sensitization program. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Sanjeev Rathore for extending an invitation to me to deliver this talk. I am also indebted to other organizing team members, including Dr. Shraddha Gupta and Dr. Satish Yadav. And I also take this opportunity to extend my warm greetings to all the participants. As I am told, it is the 6th day of this NEP Orientation and Sensitization program. See, this NEP Orientation and Sensitization program has been introduced to orient all the teachers in higher education towards National Education Policy 2020. What are the new changes which have come as a result of this policy? That is the meaning of orientation. What new you will have to do? And then comes sensitization, which would mean why all that is being done. So both aspects have to be covered under this orientation and sensitization program. So in this talk, I shall focus on all the challenges in higher education which you as teachers are going to face. And I'm very sure this will tell you what all needs to be done on the education front in the years to come. So before I start my talk, let me share my screen.
Sir, after running your PPT, please press
No,
share
just
button.
a minute. Just a minute. Let me see my PPT. Where is this?
Sir, it is visible now.
It's okay. I'll just. Is my screen visible and am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir. It is in presentation
Yes,
mode,
sir.
sir. Very good, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So, this is the title of my talk. In the light of NEP 2020, empowering teachers for challenges in higher education in India in the 21st century. And as I have written here, challenges are to be taken as opportunities in disguise. So, this is going to be a motivational talk based on NEP 2020 with the aim to empower all of you so that you can succeed and thrive in the 21st century. And believe you me, it is going to be a game changer for each one of you. You just have to attend to this talk. This entire talk is based on my conceptualization and experience. And it will prepare you for facing the challenges in your professional life and even in personal life as well. The thinking behind the talk is give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So this talk will be like feeding you for a lifetime, telling you how to fish. This talk is in two parts. In the part A, it will be just an introductory part where I will talk about the salient features of NEP 2020 and the traditional roles of teachers. And part B will be dealing with all the challenges. So, what is the spirit behind National Education Policy 2020? See, it is an education policy. And please remember, education is relevant and of quality only when it is able to serve the needs of the changing society. Otherwise, education has no meaning. And in the 21st century, world is changing very, very fast, mainly because of technological advancements. That is why the new policy has to be announced. See, if you look at the history, the first education policy was announced in 1968. Second came in 86 and third is coming in 2020 because society has changed considerably and therefore education will have to change. And this change is mainly because of technological advancements. So this policy actually proposes various reforms in education which are suited to 21st century needs. If you look at the document of NEP 2020, it is a visionary document expressing the aspirations of the nation, which aims at making India a global knowledge superpower. See, when I say global knowledge superpower, it means superpower not only in terms of knowledge dissemination, but also in terms of the knowledge creation. And knowledge creation is research. So India should become superpower in research as well. And the second is global study destination. That means our higher educational institutions should become so good that learners from all over the world come to India for their higher studies. So these two are the major aims. And ultimately, this will create a vibrant knowledge society. Now, what is a vibrant knowledge society? It is a dynamic community where knowledge is actively created. Knowledge actively created means research. Then that is shared and then utilized to drive innovation, economic growth, and social well-being. So it talks about everything coming from research. And you all agree that research plays a very important role in the development of a nation. Therefore, in this policy, there is a lot of focus on research and innovation. And for funding various projects, it is also creating an apex body called NRF, National Research Foundation. This will fund the various projects. And then another feature you should remember that NEP proposes to achieve its goals by making both school and college education more holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary. These three things are very important: holistic, flexible, and multidisciplinary. And you know, holistic means overall development: mental, physical, social, emotional. Flexibility means it offers many. Therefore, this is important. And then this policy is based on 5 pillars. These 5 pillars are access. Policy aims to enhance access to higher education. Currently, it is about 27 to 28% gross enrollment ratio. Now the target set is 50%. So this is one. Then quality has to be maintained. Then education should be imparted with equity. Then education should be affordable. And then accountability also. So these are the 5 pillars of this policy. And when I say education to be imparted with equity, you can see on the right side. You have to be fair, social justice, not equality, which is on the left side. And why I am talking about empowering you all? Please remember, the quality of an education system can never exceed the quality of its teachers. So if you want to raise the quality of an education system, you must focus on enhancing the competence of the teachers. Empower teachers. And once teachers are empowered, they in turn will empower their students. So ultimately, all this is basically to support student learning. And please remember, our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children who come to us. India is one of the youngest nations of the world. 50% population less than 25 years. 65% population less than 35 years. So India has a big demographic dividend, a big advantage. We need to ready our children for future. And please remember, to a great extent, responsibility rests with you, the teachers. Students may be 25% of our population, but then they are 100% of our future. This we should not forget. And then please remember, we have to give them right type of education. Because a child miseducated is a child lost. What does it mean? See, even if you are taking classes very seriously, you are a very sincere teacher, but are you giving them the right type of education? The type of education which modern day needs. If you are not doing, then you are miseducating them. a child, then a miseducated child will be a child lost. We have to ensure that all children get right type of education and no talent of the country should go waste. That is the meaning behind this. So this was just in very brief the salient aspects of national education policy. Now I come to the traditional roles of a teacher in higher education. Traditionally, these are our major roles: teaching, then research, guiding research, academic administration, and management. And a teacher is expected to excel in all the three roles. If you want to be an outstanding teacher or a researcher, you should have a very sound and deep knowledge in your discipline. Sound and deep. You should be very good in practical skills, and you should have the passion to become an outstanding teacher. You should have clarity of concept, and your teaching should reflect the amount of thinking you have done on the subject. See, this is often missing. All this is very easy to say, but many don't have that. Then, for an outstanding researcher, besides what I have said, you need to be an out-of-box thinker, coming out with new ideas. You should have an analytical mind. You should be innovative and creative. And then 4 C's. 4 C's means curiosity, creativity, courage, and commitment. All these 4 are essentials for being an outstanding researcher. And then, both for outstanding teacher or researcher, you should have excellent communication and presentation skills. Please remember, no one will really take the pains to listen to your ideas until and unless your communication is effective and impressive. Nobody will bother. You have to be a very good, effective and presenter and communicator. Because the way you speak, that reflects the way you think. So it has to be very logical and systematic. And many of you are quite young. You should make efforts in this direction. And please remember, all the great speakers were bad speakers at first. But then they worked hard and then they reached to the top. Why not you? So this was part A. Now I come to the main part, and that is the challenges in the 21st century, especially in the context of higher education. See, we are living in an information age where you can get any information just by the click of a button. But this age is presenting many challenges. One is, this is an age of uncertainty with respect to jobs. Job landscape all over the world is changing very, very fast. There is a future of jobs report published by the World Economic Forum, based on which you can say you are not sure where your students will be employed tomorrow. Those jobs may not be existing today. So there is a lot of uncertainty. Then this is also an age of mass education. This is an age where more students over the next 30 years will graduate than since the beginning of the recorded history. Because all institutions are trying to increase gross enrollment ratio. So more and more students will be coming out of universities and colleges, but traditional jobs are becoming less. Takers would be many, so that would create a tough competition. Then this is also an age of artificial intelligence. This is an age where artificial intelligence will equal the intelligence of the students by the time they finish their formal education. So the question is, if I can have machines with the same intelligence as you, then why do I need you? That could be the question. And look at this, all those jobs which are of repetitive or predictable nature, which require no critical thinking, no critical analysis, no research base, All these jobs are going to be in danger, either because of artificial intelligence, automation, or robotics. Look at the picture. Humans are working along with robots. And then Elon Musk has very recently stated that very soon we will have AI systems which will be smarter than the smartest human on the earth, maybe by this or next year. So, so much is happening. So the question is, the challenge before a teacher is going to be what to teach and how to teach, so that our children are successful in a future which is so uncertain. This is a very big challenge. Second challenge is sustainable development goals. See, sustainable development is the burning issue in the world at present. What is the meaning of sustainable development? Sustainable means something which can be maintained for a long period of time, keeping in view the future generations. And development is always economic development. So why there is a concern for sustainable development? This could be the first question in your mind. Why we are so much bothered? These are the reasons. Population is exploding very fast. Currently, 8 billion people. By the 2050, we will have 9.7 billion people. So this population explosion will lead to fast depletion of resources, including food, minerals, and other natural resources. There will be so much pressure on those. Then water scarcity is going to be a big issue. According to FAO report, by 2025, that means this year, 1.8 billion people will face water scarcity. Then there is a problem of environmental degradation. You know how our environment is getting polluted. And then there is a problem of climate change, rising sea level, increase in atmospheric temperature. All these issues are the issues of concern. We need to create a sustainable future. And these are the challenges. Therefore, United Nations in 2015 gave 17 sustainable development goals for achieving them by 2030. These are the goals. You can see on the right side. Goal number 1 is no poverty, then zero hunger, then good health, then quality education, like that. And all these goals are given in the agreement called United Nations Agenda 2030. 193 countries, including India, are signatory to this agreement. And we are already in 2025. 5 years are only left. But United Nations did not give any roadmap. Why? Because, the nature of the problem varies from region to region. There is a diversity. So solution will also vary. But these 17 goals actually represent real world problems. So they are the real world problems, and they are very complex. And therefore, they require knowledge of several different disciplines for their solution. Please remember, no real problem, no real world problem, I would say, can really be solved just by the knowledge of one discipline. It is not possible at all. For example, look at climate change. If you want to approach this problem, you need knowledge of climatology, you need knowledge of political science, you need knowledge of economics, green technology, sociology, etc. That is why these days we talk about multidisciplinary education. Because here students will get an understanding of any subject through the lens of different disciplines. They will look at one problem through the lens of different disciplines and then try to find out a solution. And one of the goals out of these 17 goal number 4 is quality education, where it states ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. This is the goal 4. These terms come: inclusive, equitable, quality, and lifelong learning. And this goal was announced in 2015 when that agreement was signed. And our education policy came in 2020. If you read it in details, various provisions of NEP 2020 are actually based on this goal, quality education. Our government policies are aligned with these goals because, we are committed to that goals. And you must have read that very recently, sustainability has been introduced as an additional criteria in the NIRF ranking framework from this year. Your college or your university campus should become a sustainable unit. And in achieving these goals, education needs to play a very important role. Research needs to play a very important role. That is why it is a challenge. Otherwise, we will not be able to solve any problem. We need to create awareness amongst people. For example, plastic was banned by the government in the year 2022. But people are not serious. We need to spread awareness. And the third goal or the third challenge in higher education is, you will ask the question, what are the 21st century learning needs? What our students should learn in the 21st century? And how is that going to be different? See, now it's widely agreed that if you want to be successful in the 21st century, you need at least these two things. One is rigorous academic content. That means you should be very good in the subject. And second is 21st century skills. These two taken together lead to deeper learning. And these are must for your success in your profession. And what are these 21st century skills? 21st century skills are a set of abilities which each one of us should have in the modern age. These are the 21st century skills. Look at this. This is a very important slide. One is learning skills, that is critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication, 4 C's. Then is literacy skills, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, IMT, and then life skills, flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. So taken together, these are 12 skills which are must for everyone. They will elevate your job performance. Even as a teacher, you are all teachers. If you have these skills, you will be able to do much better in your work. And please remember, machines cannot have these skills. Machine cannot be a critical thinker or having a leadership quality. And then artificial intelligence also cannot replicate them. Only humans can have. That is why, these skills are now the deciding factor in the placement. When students go for placement, they look for these skills. And therefore, quality education in the 21st century, this is the most important slide, need to focus on these 3 things. This constitutes quality education: knowledge, disciplinary, interdisciplinary, and practical, number 1. Number 2, 21st century skills, which I just said. Plus domain specific, some skills specific to your own discipline, that also. And third is your personality, your values, your attitude, your traits. And these three things determine your competence in any profession. See, any profession in the world you may take, your competence will be determined by these three things. Nature of the knowledge may vary. Nature of the skills may vary. 21st century skills are common for all. And these determine your competence. And that's why, many universities all over the country are now introducing many skill enhancement courses to strengthen second point and value added courses to strengthen the third point. But one thing we should remember, see, when we were students, focus was mainly on knowledge. Now, no longer that. Knowledge is okay, important, but skills are and personality is also very important. Therefore, the goal of quality education should be to acquire competence. And this summarizes everything. Yes. These are the 21st century learning needs. You need to learn knowledge, you need to learn skills, you need to learn personality traits. And these will determine your competence. Please remember, if you are weak in any one of them, you will never become a competent professional, howsoever knowledgeable you may be. Then, the fourth challenge in the context of higher education is that we need to have creative and innovative minds in India. See, what I feel is that there is a crisis of innovation and creativity in Indian education system. See, no Indian scientist working in India has been able to get Nobel Prize after 1930, when C.V. Raman got it in physics for the discovery of Raman effect. After that, no Indian scientist has got. Just imagine, 95 years are almost over. Nobody has ever got it in chemistry. These people did get, but they were non-resident Indians. Even Amritya Sen, although he is an Indian, but for years he has been staying abroad. Even Abhijit Banerjee is an American citizen. So here you should remember that Nobel Prize is not a lifetime achievement award. No, it's for a breakthrough, it's for a groundbreaking research which opens new vistas for humanity. And if you want to excel in research at that level, you need at least these three things. One is, sorry, I just bad throat. One is you need enormous amount of creativity and open-mindedness. This is very important. Creativity and open-mindedness. Because good ideas may come from any source. Then willingness to collaborate. We should always be ready to collaborate with others. But in our education system, we look at every other student as your competitor. Then it becomes difficult to collaborate. And then perseverance and resilience. Keep on working towards your goal. Resilience. Even if there is a setback, even if there is a failure, you bounce back. Take failures as a part of life. So, these things are must for excellence in research. But we lack in our country. That is the reason why our ranking is so poor. Look at these. These are the top 10 universities of the world. And no Indian university comes even in top 100. See, we will have to think. We are a country with 1.4 billion people. And we are not able to produce even one top world-class university. And one of the main reasons for our poor ranking is poor quality of our research programs. Most of our research is of average quality. We focus more on quantity rather than quality. And then some of the best students don't come to research. It was reported in Rajya Sabha that best of the science students are going to civil services, IAS, etc. So why we are lacking in quality research? This could be a question in your mind. It is ultimately linked with our education system. Something is fundamentally wrong in the way we teach our students. And what is that wrong? Just watch this video.
For decades, people have been finding hundreds of flaws in the education system. No conceptual understanding, no creativity, children are stressed, and the list goes on. All these are symptoms. But what is the root cause to all this? What is the fundamental flaw in the education system? Let us play a rapid fire game. You have 1 second to answer every question. Let's start. First question. A4? Okay, no more questions. Did you think apple first? 98% of people are most likely to think so. Because that was what we were told in our kindergarten. Imagine that this was done differently. Say we had asked you for all the words starting with A, and Ace, April, apt. Different answers would have popped out of everyone's head. Do you see where the problem is? Before children start going to school, every child is unique. Every child thinks different. But the education system makes every child think the same. This is the fundamental flaw in the education system. Why did this start? During the Industrial Revolution in the 18th century, the education system was designed to make children ready to work in factories. The factories did not require people to think, but to only work like robots. So, the education system stripped children of their freedom to think and destroyed their true potential. The same education system continues even today. Only the industries have changed. A study by NASA shows that 98% of children think different before they start going to school. As they go through this education system, at 25 years of age, only 2% think different and 98% think the same. So how does the education system make every child the same? Let's go back to the apple example. Kindergarten lessons told us that A is for apple. We asked you for words that start with A. Our education system gave us the answers. We asked you a question. Answers make you the same. Questions make you different. Right from kindergarten, the education system keeps giving answers. Instead of asking children how plants make food, the science teacher gives you the definition of photosynthesis. Instead of asking them to describe the sun, the teacher tells them that the sun is a ball of fire at the center of the solar system. Through their years in school, children lose the capability to think on their own. Whether it is their choice of career or their relationship or any situation in life, they become.
So you can see how our education system stripped the children of their ability to think on their own. We give ready-made answers and then ask the questions indirectly or directly in the examination. So this is a serious drawback. Our education system that way is outdated. It does not encourage thinking, innovation, and creativity among students. And please remember, without creativity, there can be no progress. We will be just repeating the same thing. And that is the reason why there is a dearth of creative and innovative minds. Therefore, the next challenge is going to be how to enhance the quality of higher education imparted in India. See, in any education system, three things are very important. What do you teach? That is curriculum. How do you teach? That is pedagogy. And then how do you assess your students? If you look at India's education system, We have 21st century students, but sometimes we are teaching them 19th century content. Our methods of teaching, our courses architecture, our assessment methods, all are old, outdated. We haven't changed much with the time. For example, look at curriculum. Curriculum means the total learning experience. And the biggest challenge to curriculum is coming from the growth of knowledge. The knowledge in all disciplines is growing very fast. So fast that the doubling time of the growth of knowledge has shrunk considerably. See, there was a time when human knowledge was doubling in 150 years. Now, human knowledge is doubling in 73 days. So what does it mean? It means that your curriculum becomes outdated as soon as it is created. And please remember, what we know in any discipline is merely a drop, and what we do not know is an ocean. That is why, new education policy also says we need to revise syllabi. We should have light syllabi so that students have more time for thinking. Just discuss core essential, but make it modern. Outdated syllabi increase the gap between what is learned and what should be learned. And that is the reason why we are not, leaders in many fields. This is one major reason, outdated syllabi. You have not been exposed to the latest development. This affects quality of research. Professor C.N.R. Rao, who is a Bharat Ratna scientist, he says 90% of the universities in India have outdated curriculum. See, today is the time when we need to have skill-based and industry-led curriculum. World is shifting towards skill-based economy. They want practical knowledge and hands-on experience. See, degree means what? Degree will tell you that you have studied these subjects. Okay. But now the question asked is, whatsoever knowledge you have acquired, what you can do with that knowledge? What skills you have? So you can see the focus is shifting. That is why it is said, future belongs to those who learn more and more skills and combine them in creative ways. Then comes pedagogy. Pedagogy means how you teach. Pedagogy is art and science of teaching. We still follow the traditional talk and chalk method, which is a teacher-centric monologue. Then many complex concepts you cannot explain on the board. Then it presumes that all students learn in identical fashion. That may not be true, because there may be some slow learners, some fast learners, some average learners. Then you can't solve many problems in the class because you have to finish syllabus. And then the whole process is very slow and time consuming. And then this method focuses on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. This is the most serious drawback. This is today's reality in every discipline. Nobody wants to learn concept. Everybody wants to score 90 plus marks. Because emphasis is on scoring high marks, whether you have knowledge or not. See, irony of our country is we still focus on well-filled mind. We keep on filling the minds of young people with more and more knowledge. But actually what we need is well-formed mind, the mind which is formed out of thinking, innovation, and creativity. Era of rote learning is over. Please remember it. You will have to change. Real education is that which transforms the learner. Just as a seed gets transformed to plant, plant gets transformed to tree, similar transformation should occur in learners. That is why these days now people talk about learner-centric education. From teacher-centric, we have to shift to learner-centric education. The thinking is that students will learn best when they are engrossed in the topic, motivated to seek out new knowledge and skills because they need them to solve the problems at hand. And all this is possible in this information age. You can get any information just by the click of a button. You have internet, you have Google, you have so many social media, podcasts, etc. And the whole framework which is now becoming very popular is outcome-based education. See, these days people talk about outcome-based education. Now, what is outcome-based education? It is a learner-centric approach. See, earlier, all of us, what we used to say, oh, I have finished my syllabus. My job is over. I have finished my syllabus. Now they don't want that. They don't want that you finish syllabus or not. They want whether learners have achieved the outcomes or not, which are expected in them. That will be the test. Because when you are teaching, you have to ensure the learning of the students. So whether the outcomes have been achieved by the learners, that will be the testing. So focus is shifting from teaching to learning outcomes. That is why it is called outcome-based education. And therefore, curriculum, assessment methods, teaching method, all are aligned with this method. This is the new emerging framework. But the thinking behind outcome-based education is that education system should produce capable individuals, those who can do something rather than just graduates. Second is, learning is more important than teaching. In teacher-centric, teaching is all. No, learning is now more important. You may use any method, you may use flexible method, but you have to help learners acquire outcomes. Even your assessment should be to measure application of what they have learned and not just rote memory or memorization. And there are many methods under learner-centric education. Maybe if time permits, sometimes I will give a talk to you. All these are the various methods which have totally changed the way education is imparted in the 21st century. Problem-based learning, project-based, inquiry-based learning, flipped classroom, collaborative learning, internship, UG research program, apprenticeship, field work, etc. Everything comes under this. So through learner-centric education, learners will become active, highly independent and creative thinkers. In the talk and chalk method, they are merely passive listeners or taking down the notes. That's all. Look at these universities, Harvard, Stanford, Wharton. In all of them, focus is more on case studies or experiential learning, project-based, problem-based learning, etc. Very little focus on lecture-based learning. In our country, more focus is on lecture-based learning. That is why it is said, if we teach today's student as we taught yesterday's, we are going to rob them of tomorrow. You will have to change. This is a big change which is coming through NEP orientation program. Please remember, if you don't change, there is no use of these lectures. This was my article in Times of India's Education Times, Creativity Crisis in the Indian Education System. This is about flipped classroom. And the third component is assessment, how we assess our students. And NEP 2020 says, we need to transform the culture of assessment because assessment drives learning. The way you will start assessing your students will start learning in that way. So it can be a good way to enhance the quality of education in the country if you change the system of assessment. See, our examination system, it is generally rote-based. Mainly about a particular textbook and definition, content given there. Anything if it comes outside the textbook, people start saying out of syllabus, protest stuff. Is that the purpose of education? So, assessment process needs to be made more scientific to encourage multiple skills of the student, such as analytical thinking, critical thinking, conceptual clarity, etc. And you should know how it works. See, this is revised Bloom's taxonomy. Cognitive learning is a 6-level hierarchy. Cognitive learning means when you learn knowledge. Knowledge is, head is involved, so that is called cognitive learning. Whenever you acquire new knowledge, it is a 6-level hierarchy. What does it mean? It starts from the bottom. Look at that. Remember, then comes understanding, then comes application, and then it goes up to the highest order, creativity. So that means cognitive learning has these 6 learning outcomes. Therefore, when you do assessment, all these 6 learning outcomes should be tested. Assessment should also test them. But if you see our examination, most of them test only remembering part or understanding and little bit of application. Beyond that, we do not go. Perhaps teachers themselves cannot set such questions. So teachers, you have to play a very important role. Your competence, your creativity, your skills matter a lot. See, currently we have more than 4 crore students in higher education. They need to be given right type of education. And assessment can play a very important role. If you will just ask them rote learning question, we will be producing rote learners only, which will be of no use. And the next challenge is, 6th challenge, we need to embrace technology and become tech savvy. This is another challenge for all of you, because it is difficult to imagine education without technology in the 21st century. And even new education policies say that the relationship between technology and education at all levels is bidirectional. Technology enhances the quality of education, and enhanced quality of education then further helps in improving the technology. So they feed on each other. That is the meaning of bidirectional. And see how technology has totally changed the way education is imparted. This slide summarizes everything. Teaching learning has changed. E-learning, MOOCs, PPTs are becoming very popular. Experimental work through virtual labs is now common. Revision of syllabi you can do very fast through email, discussion forum, video conferencing. For research, so many new tools have come. They have totally changed the way research is conducted now. Assessment, all major exams are online. National Testing Agency has been created, which is conducting most of the online exams. Professional development of the teachers is online, like this program. Then so many ICT empowered methods are there. And all this happened mainly around Corona. And all this was done by teachers. We built so many, developed so many MOOCs, e-learning and all that. So without technology, it is difficult to imagine education now. So being tech savvy is no longer optional for you. It is essential if you want to provide high quality education, meeting the needs of modern students and preparing them for a technology driven world. But students should also be told, be very careful in the use of technology. Excessive use of technology by the students has, impacted their creativity. They have stopped thinking. For every small thing, they use technology. They have forgotten to write with the hand. This we should avoid. That's why I've written technology should be used strategically to benefit the student. And then technology is a journey. Technology is evolving every day because technology is related to scientific knowledge and scientific knowledge is growing. And this artificial intelligence is now coming, which is going to redefine education in the world. Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing the way we teach, learn, and research. So you can see where the world is moving. My request to all of you young colleagues is, don't just listen to the lectures. Yes, listen, but then try to follow them. Please remember, technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers is transformational. You be a great teacher first, full mastery over your subject, and then become tech savvy. That combination can do wonders. This was my report in Times of India. Technology won't replace teachers. And then, the sixth, seventh challenge is the new roles of teachers. Now the roles of the teachers are changing. What we had it in the past, those roles are now totally going away. Now you need to become tech-savvy teachers in ICT skills, 21st century skill, artificial intelligence skills. Your students may be enrolled in e-learning or MOOCs, or if they have some queries, who will answer? You only. You must learn.
क्या knowledge है? कहाँ का कौन legal वाले?
You must
किस
learn.
तरह की बता रहे हैं? कौन सी technique?
You must learn.
मतलब सभी ICT तो सब बहुत छोटी हो गई.
थोड़ा सा जरा इनको
क्या challenges हैं?
Please mute them. You must learn how to manage work pedagogies. So you will now become a coach or a mentor or a guide. See, there was a time when teacher was considered to be the only source of knowledge. Not now. Now multiple sources of knowledge are available. Tell me what you teach in the class which students cannot get from many other sources, maybe much better than that. And then you should also be proficient in the development of e-content and MOOCs. Writing skills you should have. You should be a great teacher and you should have excellent writing skills. These are some of the new roles. So your role has changed from knowledge giver to facilitators of learning. A teacher is now a facilitator of learning. Because there are many sources. So, ladies and gentlemen, we need a change of mindset. Don't think that what I know is enough. No, I must learn more. There is a quote, birds born in a cage think flying is an illness. So, change your mindset. And if you want to excel as a researcher, this is now what we need in the 21st century. You should have a complete field-specific knowledge, deep understanding of your research area, and up to date with recent advances. This is the thing which many of the researchers don't have. That is why they are not able to do good quality research. This first point is most important. Then you have these skills. Creativity, analytical and critical thinking skills are must. You should also be technically proficient, aware of various ICT tools, software, information literacy, etc. Then ethical integrity you need. Then you need strong communication skills for writing papers and presentations. You should also have collaboration and networking skills. Maybe you can collaborate with researchers from other institutions, etc. And then time management skill, because various research projects have deadlines. You have to learn how to meet them. And then perseverance and patience. See, these are some of the things which I could just summarize in this talk. But all you need if you want to excel as a researcher. See, you cannot become an excellent researcher overnight. Never. I have worked with the top, researchers in the field, including Nobel laureates. In Japan, I was working with him. I have seen how they work. And now I come to the last part, where I will tell you about some personality development tips for enhancing your competence. See, I showed you this slide earlier. So if you want to become a very competent in your profession, you need knowledge, skills, and personality. By personality, I mean a set of traits and behavior that characterize an individual. Your thinking, your mindset is very important. Personality doesn't mean your looks. Please remember that. And why personality is important? Because 87% of all people fail, not because of capability, but because of personality. And the worst part is they don't know that their personality is coming in the way of their job performance. This is the worst part. And personality is important because it influences almost every aspect of human life. Therefore, I would like you to be given some personality development tips in the form of life lessons, which will help you enhancing your competence. See, these are lifelong lessons, which I also learned very late. Nobody told us. Therefore, I share it sometimes in my talks. And please remember, life can only be understood backwards, but it has to be lived forward. That is no alternative. Look at this picture, a grand old lady telling little girl, life looks like an eternity, but actually it is just a short trip. You don't know when the trip will be over. Therefore, all of you should learn the art of living. It's unfortunate that most of the people only exist. Living has become rare. They are just existing. And when I say art of living, it means capability to draw pleasure from life and to succeed in the greatest test called life. Life itself is a great test. You have to be successful in that. This is the report in Indian Express. India ranks 126 out of 143 nations in World Happiness Index 2024. Indians are not happy, always stressed, always worried about future. They are never aiming mental peace. All these contribute to this. Please remember, you only live once. But if you do it right, I think one is more than enough. And the first tip which I want you to have is be proactive in life. Everyone chooses how to approach life. Choose a proactive approach. Proactive means you focus on preparing. If you are reactive, you will end up focusing on repairing. It's up to you how you choose. Proactive people are able to take initiative, make choices, and hence control outcomes. Proactive people don't wait for the ship to come in, they swim out to it. Think well in advance and already be ready. Then many of young people I have seen, see, I have been vice chancellor of 3 almost equivalent universities. These are the problem. Many of the young people are living in a comfort zone. Oh, I'm getting good salary, my husband, wife getting good salary, children are well set, so what should I work? So that is a comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It's only after you have stepped out of your comfort zone that you begin to change, grow, and transform. So come out of the comfort zone, manage your career well, think in what direction you have to go, and then keep on working. And then work very hard. Working hard sensibly is very important. I know many of you must be hardworking, but sensible part is necessary, because sensible means direction is more important than speed. In what direction you are working is more important. Of course, you are free to choose any direction, but then you will not be free from the consequences of your choice. So choose your direction very carefully. Think, manage, plan your career well. And once you are on the right track, then life is a process. No one rises suddenly in the world, not even the sun. You have to be persistent and have a never give up attitude. Then self-belief is another quality all of you should have. Self-belief means, look at this quote, a bird sitting on a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking, because her trust is not in the branch but in her own wings. So believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then nothing can be achieved. See, it is the most important accessory. It doesn't give you strength, but it gives you the power to face the challenges of life. That is why it is said, millions of people may believe in you, but it will not matter if you do not believe in yourself. Then comes self-discipline. This is the most important thing. Self-discipline means mastery over your thoughts. See, we are always thinking. If you can control what you think, you can always control what you do. That is the meaning of this. Mind control. See, brain is an organ. Mind is like a software, which you practice with practice, you can control. Because there is nothing in this world that can trouble you more than your own thoughts. Cages are not made of iron, they are made of thoughts. An average person thinks 7,000 thoughts in a day. So, self-control, self-discipline, if you master it, you can master anything. You should practice it. It will change your life. And it will also make you mentally tough. Sometimes you need to be mentally tough also, especially in the face of adversity. So it will prepare you for that also. Then be positive and honest. It is for your own consumption. Don't tell to the world that you are positive and honest. Nobody bothers. Always have positive thinking. Because positive thinkers will have a solution for every problem. Negative thinkers will have a problem for every solution. And we meet all such type of people in our day-to-day life. Always strive for excellence. To be good is no longer enough in the 21st century. You should strive for excellence. Reach to the top. Look at this. A penguin can never be a giraffe. So you try to be the best penguin you can be. Every line needs top people. Tell me which line doesn't need top people. Mediocrity won't help you. If you are a teacher, become an outstanding teacher. If you are a researcher, outstanding researcher. Administrator, outstanding administrator. Mediocres, no. Then overcome the fear of failure. This is a common problem. And here, Bill Gates once says, if you are afraid of failure, then you don't deserve to be successful. Failures can be the pillars of success depending on how you take them. Fail is first attempt in learning. Take it like that. And your attitude towards failure determines your altitude after failure. Again, it's a question of mindset, attitude. वो कहते हैं ना कि जब तक तुम डरते रहोगे तुम्हारी जिंदगी के फैसले कोई और लेता रहेगा. Overcome the fear of failure. क्या हो जाएगा? And then stop worrying and start living. ये भी एक बहुत common problem है. We should remember that worry is a misuse of your imagination. You suffer more in imagination than in reality. And one day you will look back and realize that you worried too much about things that don't really matter. पर तब तक तो time तो निकल जाएगा, फायदा क्या होगा? So the best is do this, what I am now going. Think about, worry only about the things which are in your control. And what is in your control? Your attitude, your effort, your focus. That's all. You should worry about these three things. You should not worry about the things which are out of your control. What will happen in future? What will be the opinion of others? What will be the outcome of my efforts? Forget about that. This can change your life. And you will get mental peace when you realize that everything that is out of control should also be out of your mind. Then take risks in life. Be courageous. Sometimes you need to lose small battles in order to win the war. Be prepared to lose. You should take risks. Nothing wrong. And create a sense of urgency in your life. See, for example, look at this. If you give yourself 30 days to clean your home, it will take you 30 days. But if you give yourself 3 hours, it will take you 3 hours. Work expands according to the time available. The same thing applies to your goal, your ambition, your potential. So you can create a new life for yourself by creating some urgency in your current life. You should be a person in a hurry. You should reach the goals fast. Please remember, this can change your life. Otherwise, work will always expand according to the time available and it will never get completed. Set deadlines in the mind and control anger. Everybody gets angry. My takeaway on this is that whenever you get angry, think of this slide. The fire of anger burns you first. So if you are prepared to burn yourself, get angry. And then never say mean words out of anger. This is a common problem in everybody's life. Your anger will pass, but your mean words can scare a person for life. Either use kind words or rather be silent. Remaining silent when in angry mood requires a lot of strength. And this is very important. Psychology says that whenever you are angry, there is some fear in your mind. That is why you become angry. And then time management is very important. This is the most important thing. Time management is life management. You can manage your time. And look at this quote from Amitabh Bachchan. कल खो दिया आज के लिए, आज खो दिया कल के लिए, कभी जी ना सके हम आज के लिए, बीत रही है जिंदगी कल, आज और कल की. That's how the whole life passes. Please remember, every day is once in a lifetime. And every day is the first day of the rest of your life. So invest your time, don't spend it. Invest your time, don't spend it. वो कहते हैं ना, बंदी है हाथ पर सबके घड़ियां मगर पकड़ में किसी के एक लम्हा भी नहीं. And then time spares no one. Look at this small song from Bollywood.
समय की धारा में, समय की धारा में, मेरी कहानी है, जो घड़ी जिएंगे, जो घड़ी जिएंगे, वही रह जानी है.
See, look at these pictures. All these were great actors with so much fan following. Just see how their end was. अभी तो वो कहते हैं ना कि समय और भाग्य से डर के रहो. And the message is live in the moment. This is the best way to live. The present moment is the only moment available to us and it is the door to all moments. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple fact that you will never get the same moment twice. So live in the present. Please remember, this is very important. वो एक कोट है बड़ा अच्छा. मैं कल को तलाशता रहा दिन भर और शाम होते होते मेरा आज भी चला गया. That is what it happens. And then never become arrogant in life. You may reach any position, stay humble, stay polite. It's just a passing phase of life. कहते हैं ना, कभी किसी चीज का घमंड आ जाए तो शमशान का एक चक्कर लगा आना, तुमसे बेहतरीन लोग वहां राख बने पड़े. Never become arrogant. But many people become. I sometimes worry, I wonder why they do that. They don't know the reality of life. That you are a dust and to dust you shall return. So challenge yourself. That's the message. Whatsoever I have told in my talk, at the end of the day, your biggest competition is with you. You should become the master of your mind, not the puppet of your mind. Be your own king. And you are a king if you know how to rule yourself. Ruling yourself means control mind. Total. Everything revolves around. See, there's a quote. The biggest discovery of this century is that you can change your future by just controlling your mindset, attitude. So you don't have the problem, you are the problem. तभी तो ये कहा जाता है कि स्वर्ग भी तू है, नरक भी तू है, इन दोनों का फर्क भी तू है. जिंदगी छोटी नहीं होती, लोग जीना ही देरी से शुरू करते हैं. और जब तक रास्ते समझ में आते हैं तब तक तो लौटने का वक्त हो जाता है। इसलिए इट्स नेवर टू लेट टू बी व्हाट यू माइट हैव बीन। कल से ही अपनी लाइफ को बदलो, देखोगे कितना बड़ा परिवर्तन आ जाएगा आपकी लाइफ में। दैट इज व्हाई आई सेड इन द बिगिनिंग इट कैन प्रूव टू बी ए गेम चेंजर फॉर यू। तभी तो ये कहा जाता है चैलेंजेस कीप अस फ्रेश। एक बड़ी फेमस कोट है, ए शिप इज सेफ इन हार्बर बट दैट्स नॉट व्हाट शिप्स आर बिल्ट फॉर। Similarly, humans are not designed to be happy in status quo. Continue to remain dissatisfied so that you can become better and better. Challenges keep us fresh. Don't take every challenge as a problem, take every problem as a challenge. Challenges are the doorways to excellence. They are the opportunities. All the challenges which I told you, they are opportunities in disguise. और एक और चाइनीज proverb है, when the winds of change blow, some people build walls while others build windmills. It's up to you how you make use of the opportunities. One day you will be just a memory for some people. Do your best to be a good one. And this is the last slide. जिंदगी के रंगमंच पर अपना किरदार इतनी शिद्दत से निभाएं कि पर्दा गिरने के बाद भी तालियां बजती रहें। जिंदगी नहीं मिलेगी दोबारा। Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you. This is my cell number. This is my email ID. You can always be in touch with me. Give your feedback. If there is any comment, any suggestion, any question, you are most welcome to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
A nice session, sir.
Very, very nice session.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Professor Bakshi, thank you very much. Myself, chairperson of the session. I request other participants, if they have any queries, then they can ask here. Or if they want to discuss in brief, sir is here in the session. We can have that discussion.
Any question, any comment, any suggestion, anything? Here I am. So if no question means either nothing is clear or everything is clear.
Sir, I think everything is clear because you present so deliberately. I think there is not any kind of doubt. As I appraise, sir has started from the history of NEP, from how it started in 1968, then 88, and last was in 2020. And sir has discussed that India need to be a superpower, and superpower in terms of knowledge, in terms of technology. And sir has elaborately discussed that we need holistic, flexible, and academic leadership because there are 5 pillars of NEP. Sir, it is really knowledgeable to know that how NEP has involved in our life, and of course, how we can empower teachers, because empowering teachers basically build up student-teacher relationships. So, since by the time the student enrollment is 25% of our total population, so sir has also elaborated that a child mislead, basically a child lost. Sir, it is really a heart-touching quote that you have put inside your discussion. So sir has also elaborated that how we need real world problems, and of course deficiency in research education. As sir has discussed, science students are applying for civil services. It means there is definitely a gap. A science student is going for civil services. We need to improve that. Definitely, recent in discussion, Narayana Murthy from Infosys, he also discussed that how rote learners are reaching to this. Sir has also discussed that there should be no kind of rote learning because it is of no use in our education system. So we should embrace technology. We should improve personality by improving our knowledge, not by the just look itself. So we need to choose our direction by leaving the comfort zone because sir has elaborated that the life started only when you achieve your comfort zone. It's really good, sir. There are a lot of terms that I have no words to praise, like how you have positive thinkers. Definitely, the losers have problem for every solution. So definitely, things are to be noted down. I have you can't imagine I have noted out so many points one by one, and if you want I can repeat your whole lecture without your PPT. So from first line to last line because it was full of interest and of course your life experience has elaborated all these slides.
थैंक यू वेरी मच
So
आपने इसको बड़ा अच्छा रिवाइज करा दिया, सारे पॉइंट्स आपने कवर कर दिए मोर और लेस। तो
सर ये सारे पॉइंट्स ही इतने अच्छे हैं जो दिमाग से निकल ही नहीं सकते
थोड़ा
क्योंकि ये बिल्कुल जी 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 सर बोलिए सर।
पर्पस यही होता है इन टॉक्स का कि आपको छुए और आप के अंदर एक फीलिंग आए कि मुझे बदलना है समय के हिसाब से। मोटिवेशन का यही एक मकसद है, नहीं तो लेक्चर सुन के चलो अगले लेक्चर पे चलो और उसका कोई यूज ना हो तो उसका कोई फायदा नहीं होता। और मुझे ये भी बताना जरूरी मुझे लगा था कि भाई हम ज्यादातर फोकस नॉलेज पे करते हैं, स्किल्स और पर्सनैलिटी बड़ी मैटर करती हैं और हम अपने एजुकेशन सिस्टम में इसके ऊपर ज्यादा फोकस कई बार नहीं करते और तभी हम कई बार सफर भी करते हैं। इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत, क्योंकि टाइम तो वही 90 मिनट होता है सब कुछ कवर करना, इसलिए वैसे तो इसके मेरे कई लेक्चर्स हैं लेकिन इसलिए मैं नट शेल जो भी कवर कर पाया तो आई एम हैप्पी कि आपको ठीक लगा। सो आई
नहीं
ऑल्सो
सर जब आपका रिज्यूम हमारे पास आया हमने आपके बारे में गूगल में भी पढ़ा तो गूगल ने तो इतना कुछ खोल दिया कि मतलब टाइम शॉर्ट पड़ जाएगा मेरे ख्याल से 1 हफ्ते का उसके बारे में पढ़ने के लिए। तो सर बहुत अच्छा आपने मतलब बहुत ही इलेबोरेट किया। आई थिंक जितने भी पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं दे ऑल मस्ट फील मोटिवेटेड और सबको एक बात तो क्लियरली समझ आ गई है कि जो आपका लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस है वो यही कहता है कि हमें पर्सनैलिटी नॉलेज से बढ़ानी चाहिए, हमें पॉजिटिव रहना चाहिए और अगर हम पॉजिटिव नहीं होंगे तो स्टूडेंट को हम कैसे मोटिवेट करेंगे। ऑफ कोर्स सर ये बहुत ही यूजफुल लेक्चर रहा आपका, मैंने बाकी भी लेक्चर सुने। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर दिस लेक्चर।
सो नाइस। और खास तौर पे डॉक्टर संजीव राठौर साहब का बहुत कि उन्होंने मुझे कांटेक्ट किया, शायद इन्होंने मुझे कहीं कहीं सुना था क्योंकि लेक्चर्स मेरे आई थिंक पिछले 4-5 सालों में 600-700 लेक्चर पूरे कंट्री में चले हैं डिफरेंट टॉपिक पे। ये तो एक टॉपिक है, बाकी वो टॉपिक्स पे लीडरशिप और सभी पे है। लेकिन थैंक्स डॉक्टर राठौर फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी टू दिस।
सर प्लीज सर मैं आपको कई प्लेटफॉर्म पे सुन चुका हूँ और मैं आपका मुरीद हो चुका हूँ एक तरीके से। और मैं चाहता हूँ जो भी ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम मैं ऑर्गेनाइज कराने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ उनमें आप रहें और श्रोता आपको सुने, पार्टिसिपेंट हमारे कलीग सुने और वे अपने आप को अपडेट करें। तो मैं गवर्नमेंट डिग्री कॉलेज बदायूं के हेड ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिजिक्स डॉक्टर श्रद्धा गुप्ता जी से अनुरोध करूंगा कि सर का अपने शब्दों में वेलकम करें इतने अच्छे लेक्चर के लिए। और मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी अलीगढ़ के इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर हम इस लेक्चर को ऑर्गेनाइज करा पाए, बहुत अच्छी बात है। मैडम श्रद्धा गुप्ता, प्राचार्य जी का मैसेज डिलीवर कीजिए यहाँ पर। आर यू ऑडिबल मैडम? नो। तो सर हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब डॉक्टर नरेंद्र कुमार बत्रा जी आपके पिछले लेक्चर पे जो हम लोगों ने हंसराज कॉलेज का वो टीचर्स ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज किया था तो उसमें सुनकर वो काफ़ी इम्प्रेसिव हुए। उन्होंने भी रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि सर से समय लीजिए और उनका लेक्चर होना चाहिए। तो वो आज किसी भी स्पेशल मीटिंग में प्रशासन के साथ में हैं, वो यहाँ अवेलेबल नहीं है, रहना चाहते थे। मैं उनकी तरफ से आपके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ। सर ये डॉक्टर मनीष देव शर्मा जी हैं, हमारे मित्र हैं, और कुछ कॉन्फिडेंशियल वर्क सेंट्रल एजेंसीज के साथ हम लोग करते हैं और डिफरेंट कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशंस के लिए। तो डॉक्टर मनीष देव शर्मा जी से मैं बहुत ज़्यादा इंस्पायर्ड हूँ सर। इन्होंने यंग एज में जो अचीवमेंट किए हैं, मैं आपसे इनका सीवी शेयर करूंगा सर। तो इस एज में इन्होंने जो किया है ना सर, वो बहुत ज़्यादा इंस्पायर करता है। आप दोनों विद्यार्थियों के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप हमारे प्लेटफॉर्म पर आए और हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स के साथ में मुस्लिम यूनिवर्सिटी के इस प्लेटफॉर्म का सभी को फायदा दिलाया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स आपसे जरूर लाभान्वित होंगे।
चलिए जी, सो नाइस ऑफ यू एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच। थैंक यू
जी सर, थैंक यू।
सर शुक्रिया बहुत बहुत प्रोफेसर
बहुत
बख्शी।
थैंक्स।
बस सर टाइम
राठौर
बाउंडेशन
साहब
है,
आपका भी बहुत
टाइम
शुक्रिया।
बाउंडेशन
अभी
है, हटने
मिलेंगे।
की इच्छा तो नहीं होती है। सर को पाए हैं किसी तरीके से, लेकिन बार बार ही लगता है ना कि एक टाइम लिमिट भी है और शेड्यूल है, उसका प्रॉपर
जी
नॉर्म्स है,
जी जी, बिल्कुल
यूनिवर्सिटी
बिल्कुल।
का नॉर्म्स है। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू
शुक्रिया सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
राठौर साहब मिलते हैं अब अगले सेशन में 4:55 पे एक्टिव हो जाएंगे। थैंक यू सर, सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। टाइम का हम पाबंद रहे और टाइम सीमित रखा और टाइम के अंदर ही कंप्लीट हुआ। अब 4 बजने से 5 मिनट पहले सभी से मिलते हैं। शुक्रिया।